Hello, good evening, and welcome to Monkeys with Fire. How's everybody tonight? Hope you're all well. Good evening, Roger. Thanks for joining us this evening. Hope you had a good weekend. Right then, so we're going to be doing a live play of a game that I believe has been out for a little bit of time, but I thought that this week was appropriate given a major release in the video gaming world occurring in a couple of days' time. So this evening, we're going to be having a play of Senjutsu Battle for Japan from Lucky Duck Games. This is a samurai dueling game, and as you will find, it's really good. There's a lot of depth to it, but it does say on the box it can play within 20 minutes. But we know from experience that it might take 20 minutes to play, but it takes a little bit longer to learn how to play, doesn't it, hey? Our thanks, of course, to Lucky Duck Games for providing a copy of Senjutsu Battle for Japan for us to take a look at this evening. They also very generously provided a couple of the expansion packs, so we'll go and take a look at those. This is a game that involves miniatures, and of course we've got a bit of a background with painting miniatures on the channel, so I thought that'd be quite nice as well. We can take a look at these minis and see what you guys think. All right, let's go to the table and let's see if we can learn how to play this game. So then, here we go. I have a two-player game set up. I thought this was appropriate that the student is facing off against the master. I have the high ground, Anakin. So, Roger, if you're interested in playing, then you could maybe do all of the decisions for the student, and I will play as the master. Granted, of course, the character might be the master. I certainly am not. Now, the only thing that I have included here in addition to the game is these dice. You do not require dice in this game, but I'm using it to track initiative numbers. I thought this was a good way to remember what we have to do should we decide to choose our initiative values. So a good old handy dice is always helpful. Now, let's go through. So we have our rule book, which of course does have a reference sheet on the back, which is very handy. And I've got to admit, the rule book is pretty good. I don't have any issues with it. It does seem quite a lot to start off with. Having read through it a couple of times, I think this is the type of game that once you've played it, a lot of this you'll be going through so regularly you won't need to refer back to the rulebook, and this reference sheet will actually do everything for you. I just think that maybe the first time you play, things might be a little bit clunky, so we might find that that's the case this evening. But we'll work through together on this. We have this wonderful components spread here. We'll take a look at some of the miniatures and scenery that you do get with the game. It's really, really nice. You can tell that a lot of time and effort has gone into putting this game together. The complete package, again with the expansion packs that are available, it's really nicely done. And I'm just going to quickly highlight before we get started that there are rules for solo play for this game, which I thought was fantastic. There's a whole deck of AI cards in the game, as you can see. So lots to go through there. We've got character signature decks. So this helps you put together an initial deck of cards when you first start the game. We will be using these decks, but as you become more accustomed to the game, you can start swapping some of these cards out. Your character has a number of signature moves, but then there are generic moves, and those are the ones that you can swap out and change how many cards you might have in your deck of particular types of defense or attack. And that being the case, you can make your character quite unique. Because we're just starting off, we're just going to stay with the default settings here, just to sort of get to understand how it plays. And before we move on, one other thing I want to show you guys, which I thought this was brilliant. A solo campaign book. Again, the fact that they have thought through all these aspects, but what is even better is, hey, let's do this as a bit of a graphic novel. Tells a story, but I want to get to the actual game elements here. So your deck setup, the AI opponent deck setup, what the map is. This is brilliant. This is really, really good. So if you are into your solo play, then this game absolutely caters for you in a really great way. So these are additional maps that are not featured in the for actual boards, and so you just play on this. It'd be great if they produced more of these kind of books. This is perfect for playing. So really good. Oh wow. That's what we want to see. So I really like this. This is really good. I like how this book actually goes with the map tiles as well. Very clever, very good. Really like this. Okay, let's give this a go. So, first of all, let me make sure I've got everything right here. We literally will go through the setup as it describes in the rulebook. We've got our board, we've got our card setup, we have, oh, it should be the other way around. We have our decks of cards. We've got our characters. Gonna have to make sure I get this correct. This is the Kame tree. You know that, of course, I'm going to ruin all of the names tonight. So this is basically, it depicts your character's stance. And let me just make sure I get this correct. So what do we have? So Kame positions and their names. We have the red, which is aggression. Green, that is balanced. Yellow is determination. And the purple with, I think it's the lotus flower, isn't it? That is for focus. And we start off at a neutral position. And then we have our branches. And every time we are able to change our Kame position, we either travel through via a branch, because there's two types, is either changing or switching. To change, you follow the branch. To switch, you can actually jump to any of the Kame positions. And if you are in a certain Kame position, you are then able to play abilities within certain cards. So it's bringing the two together. You'd have to move into a certain stance to be able to use a certain kind of attack or defense, which of course makes sense. As we go through this, you'll find that the designers have thought through so much great stuff to really bring to the tabletop how an actual samurai duel plays out, and I think they've mastered it really well. So that's important to know and you will have cards that will able to either change or switch your position. Focus. When you land on or move to that, you pick up one of these focus tokens. You can have in total 3 focus tokens. There are cards within your deck that require you to, if you want to actually play that card, then you must have a focus token to spend. There are cards that have an optional ability or action that if you can spend a focus token, you can do it. But of course, those are optional. So if you don't have one, it doesn't matter. You can still play that card. The cards that require you to have a focus token, of course, you need to have one to start off with. You can't play that card otherwise. So that's quickly done the Kame tree, and we've done the focus tokens. We've got the board set up. We have our character card. We have a character's core card, which is their core ability. And then we have their weapons card. Now, both of these characters have a hand limit of 5 cards, which we will get from the top of our deck. And in addition, then you have your character's core ability and their core weapon. And you can play those. When you play your cards, you will discard. But if you play either your core card or your weapon card, that returns back to your hand. You can never discard those cards. They will always return back to you. But ultimately, you have a deck of cards here. Once you get to the end of that deck, you're going to then start picking up wound cards. If you pick up 5 wound cards, that's it. You're out of the game. If you pick up 5 stun cards, the stun cards basically are added to your hand, and your hand is a maximum of 5 cards, excluding these core or weapon cards. If you can no longer add any cards from your deck to your hand, then you are being defeated. So that's pretty quick. So 5 on actual wounds or 5 on your stuns. You pick up stuns if you end up bashing into a piece of scenery on the board, or if you fall into the other player. And I think there might be a couple of other ways, but we'll get to that in a moment. So we have our advantage tracker. The master has a score of 74, the student has a score of 62. It just goes with the highest score, so hence why the master is at the top of this. Effectively, it says advantage, but it's kind of an initiative, I guess, isn't it? So ultimately, the master gets to place first. Now, let's just make sure I get this right. So, character with the highest advantage places their token at the top of the advantage, yep. Starting with the player at the bottom of the advantage tracker, each character's miniature on the available battlefield. Where do we put on... We have to put on some scenery, don't we? So, progressing clockwise with the player with the highest advantage number, place terrain on the battlefield. So we've got a variety of different terrain. Now, what's nice is this game offers both a miniature, we've got a little bit of piece of rock here, or an actual hex tile. And I think the hex tiles might be easier for us to see on the board. What do you think, Roger? What would you rather? Do you want the hex tile or do you want the miniature piece? What's easier for you to see? And what we're going to do is, of course, we'll consider this to be terrain. This one as well. This here. This here. But these are additional pieces of terrain that can be used. You're going to go with a hex. All right. So we'll put these away. I'm going to place a piece of terrain there. Where would you like to place your piece of terrain. You'll be starting at the top of the board, I'll be starting at the bottom. If you give me a general idea, we'll try and get it as close as possible. In the center. So is that joining my one to make it larger? That's practically the center, isn't it? That's interesting. Let's go with that. Okay. We'll work with that. You get to place your character first. You can place your character anywhere along this top row of hexes. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. I think once we get playing, we'll kind of have a general idea. Now, what is important, I'm going to just put your character here just as an example. Can you see the triangle at the front? This denotes how your character, the direction that they are looking. And of course, you've got to be aware of their position because you are able to attack in front of you, but of course all the way around as well. So you're going to say number 3, and it's whether you want to be looking this way or this way. So do you want to just tell me? Let you make that choice. That will kind of set things going for us, won't it? Towards the left, so as it is at the moment, yeah? I think that's probably easy done. That being the case, I'm going to put my guy just there. Okay, so I'm facing in this direction. We'll hopefully, we'll just come around here, won't we? All right. So then, we shuffled the decks, and as much as you know what my shuffling's like. And ultimately we take 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your hand. I'm going to take my 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, done. And then pretty much we're good to start. So the way that a turn sequence goes is we're going to draw, then choose, reveal, resolve, and discard. So pretty much this all happens at the same time. Now, as we have done this before on playing games on the channel, I'm going to look at my hand, see what I've got, and I'm going to put my card down, and that locks my decision. And then you can choose yours, and it won't influence my decision. And I will try and not remember what cards you've got. Of course, your cards would be hidden information, wouldn't they? But I suppose that if you start playing this game regularly, you get a good idea of what type of cards the student or the master or the other 2 characters that are in the core pack might have. Again, maybe there's some history. Maybe these 2 characters have faced off before and they start to learn each other's styles. That could be interesting, isn't it? So let me have a quick scan, see what I've got. Okay. Right. So that is the card I'm going to play. So then, let's make sure we've got this right. So, each player draws a single ability card from the top of their ability card deck and adds it to their hand. Ah, right, so we could have added an extra one. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to add your extra one there. But I'm not going to change my choice. So, if your ability card deck is empty and there's no more ability cards left for you to draw, you must draw a wound. So, we already spoke about that. So, we've done our draw. Then we do choose. Choose a single ability card from your hand and place it face down on the table. Any ability card placed down in this way is in play. So this card for me is in play. It's now your turn to basically pick a card. And let's go through this. Now this is going to be interesting. It's going to take a few goes for us to understand and explain these cards. And I'm just going to get the page here so it tells me the anatomy of a card. So we have our name of the actual card. This particular one is Tranquil Mind. We have the initiative speed. So because these cards are going to be revealed at the same time, whoever has the highest number plays their card first. So when we are next to one another with katanas drawn, then whoever's going to have the highest is going to be able to deal their blow first. If, of course, you're doing a blocking, then you'd be able to block first before an attack came on in. So you see how that works. So those numbers in the top there are important. This second part here, if it is illuminated, this is the mandatory focus cost. This particular card doesn't require you to spend any focus. The symbol underneath, this is the type of card it is. So this particular one is meditation. I've got my little diagrams here. Let me find another one. The fire is attack. The mountain is defense. But the good thing about it, these cards all do have the words to associate. So you don't necessarily need to remember what the iconography is, which is handy. So let's just take a look at this Tranquil Mind. You basically work through the card from the top, doing each thing until you can't do any more. So this allows you to move in any direction that you're facing by one, and then turn one. Nice and easy. Change Kame up to one branch, so you'd get to move along a branch. Now, what's important with the student is the student does have some arrows, and you've got to go in the flow of the arrows. So you can't go to green first. You're going to have to come to yellow to go into purple. Then you've got a choice. But once you're in green, you've got to basically come back down to neutral. It enough sounds like shifting gears in a car. So you can change. If then you go to yellow, search the top 3 cards of the deck and draw one. And if then you are in green, you can turn twice. And I think the turn lets you turn in any direction. I don't think it has to be in that particular direction. Let me just double check. But so white arrow of movement is an optional move, whereas black are mandatory. Yeah, I think you can turn in any direction. Doesn't say. All right, so that's quite easy to go through that card. Let's do this one. So again, it's always worth just comparing. So this has got an initiative of 3. This next one has an initiative of 3 as well. This is Rock Strike. It's an attack. You have to be in the yellow Kame position. You turn, or it's optional, you can turn one. You could spend a focus, or sorry, that's what you can do initially, or spend a focus to move in a diagonal one and then turn, and then you are able to attack. So again, looking at the iconography, the hex there is where you're positioned with your triangle, and you are able to attack in either of those hexes that are either in front of you or off to your right. That's essentially how an attack works, but you'd have to spend a focus to be able to do so. Obedience. So you've got to be in either green or yellow. Then you can defend all against your right-hand side. So if successful, switch the targeted... I think that's your targeted character, isn't it? So you switch the Kame of the targeted character, steal one focus from the targeted character, and change Kame up to one branch. And I think that's also increase your initiative. Is it? Advantage, yes. So you would increase up on this track. So if you had increased up, you would push me down. But this particular card, again, I think I'm going to end up spending most of my time explaining all the cards, aren't I? You've got to set your advantage score. This is why I brought these dice out. So you can have a value between 7 to 3. So depending where my card goes, you might be playing your card before or after my card. Mountain switch. So this is quite interesting. So if you're in green or yellow, you can do... Oh, what's the asterisk for? Oh, I need to find this. I have seen it. An ability card may link this targeted symbol to an asterisk on a positional grid. So asterisk swap positions. So if the targeted character is in that position, you get to swap. Okay, so basically you're just swapping positions with a character. If successful, gain a focus. And then you can move backwards diagonal one and turn twice. That's interesting. That's quite a nimble bit of manoeuvring going on there. What's this one? Diagonal slash. So you've got to be in green. Oh, and what's the 7 for? That's the initiative value. Then you can move backwards 1. If you're in yellow... Oh, I see. Hang on. So if you're in green... See, it's actually quite simple once you realise it. So if you're green, your initiative is not 5, it's 7. So that means you get to potentially use this card earlier. You get to move backwards 1. If, however, you were in yellow, then you can turn where your position is. You do double attacks on your right-hand side. And if you were in red... then you do one attack where the asterisk is. This is your diagonal slash. So it's 1, 2, 2. You can imagine that as a sweeping blade, can't you? lunging forward, and then slashing round. That's good. I like this one. Right. I think that's everything, isn't it? Oh no. Have we done Rock Strike? I don't think we did we? Okay. So, in yellow. Or does that say actually move to yellow? Let's just make sure. Right, yes, I think you've got to be in yellow to then be able to move or spend a focus to move diagonally and turn and then attack around the top. There you go. Well, that didn't take too long, and hopefully it makes sense. What do you think, Roger? I actually think that this is not too bad once you start playing it. Shall I give you maybe a little bit of help? Because I know, of course, how much harder it is when looking via the screen. So, and ultimately, you've also got your student core card. Discard one card, and then you can move in any direction, and then turn twice. And then draw up to 2 cards. Or search and draw for one of the brown cards, or change your kame up to 1 branch. So remember, that's a card that you can play and it will always come back to your hand. The top one, Tranquil Mind. I mean, that actually that does seem to be the best card that you've got here. You're able to move 1, turn 1, change your kame up to 1 branch, which you would potentially, well, you have to get to yellow. So go to yellow, you then search the top 3 cards of your deck and draw 1. So that probably makes the most sense. Let's do that. Let me help you sort of guide you through a little bit. I think that's possibly the best way to do this. Okay, so we've drawn. Oh, sorry, we've chosen our cards. Make sure I get this right. Yes, it is mandatory. Right, so then we reveal both of our cards. So let's go here. Okay. So I went for Reposition, and you've gone for Tranquil Mind. Both of them are meditation-based cards. Because I have the highest value for the advantage, I get to go first. So let's just look through this. I get to move diagonally 1 space. So I'm pointing in this direction. I'm going to move diagonally. And it's a mandatory movement because it's a black arrow. So I'm going to go like so. If I was in the aggressive kame, which I'm not, I'd get to move forward 1. Can't do that. Move to next. I can turn twice. But it's optional because it's white. I'm going to stay as I am. So that's fine. If I was in green, I could draw up to 2 cards. I'm not. If I was in yellow, I could search and draw 1 of a card. I'm not. And then I can change my kame up to 1 branch. So I'm going to move this up. Gives me a focus. I will take that. That is the card done. All right, let's see how you do. So you can move in any direction for one and then turn in one direction. Isn't that a band? So, how do you want to move and do you want to turn? I think we just want to try and get together, don't we? It might be a case of that we move towards the current arrow. Yes, I thought so. So, move one. We might end up just then turn the mini to the left. Are we doing it to the mini's left? Like so? The other way. So that was that. That's that. Okay. Oh, so you're going to come round this way. Maybe I should have turned round. Never mind. Okay. Change your kame up to one branch. So you are forced to have to go this way. So you're now in yellow. Search the top 3 cards of the deck. So 1, 2, 3. And then get to draw 1. So let's see what you've got. Let's see if we can try and do this. So we have an attack. So it's got an advantage of 6. It's advantage, but I want to call it initiative. I don't know. I'm doing too many role-playing games, aren't I? So initiative of 6. You've got to be in green. If you're in green, it has an initiative of 8. You must move diagonally 1. Or, if you're in red, you can move diagonally forwards or backwards by 1, and then you can attack. So it's either... it's either a simple move forward or moving in diagonals and then attacking. But then... Oh, all right. And then if you do your attack and then switch to green. Okay. Interesting. Stalking Tiger Paw. This is an equals initiative. Uses matching initiative value. Is this... Oh, I need to double check now. I'm going to end up making up rules myself, aren't I? I think... Oh, I can't find it. So on the guide it says uses matching initiative value. So I'm going to take that to be this is Monkey's way of making it up as you go along. Well, yes, a little bit with hopefully some gaming knowledge in the background. I'm going to say that this equals whatever your opponent plays, and then you go by the initiative tracker here. That's why I'm interpreting that. So, but this requires you to actually have a focus. So you can't play this at this moment in time until you acquire a focus. So play if block successful. Because this is... Oh, let's get this right. So this is an instant additional card. So basically... when cards are played, you are able to play these instant cards in a kind of a way of countering something. So someone else has played a card, you have played your card, you can play this card to counter their card. So if you are successful, play it if block successful, you're able to make the targeted character turn 1, make the targeted character move 1, make the targeted character discard 1 card, and then switch to any kame. And let me just explain quickly. So instant replacement cards. So this is instant additional cards. Instant additional cards are played from your hand to enhance or change your revealed card. So you'd have to be playing a blocking card, and you would then play this additionally to enhance that blocking card. So that's quite cool. Stalking Tiger Paw. And then this is Calm Defense. So you've got an initiative range between 6 and 2. If you're in green, you can turn once. You can defend all around the front of your character. If you're successful, then and you're in yellow, then you would gain a focus. Why have we got a split there? It's not telling us or. Oh, hang on. Okay. So card effects contain a different segment of the ability card, considered separate and are not contingent to the if successful cause. So it's divide right. So if successful and you're in yellow, you gain a focus, but then even if you wasn't successful, you then can have the option to move back 1, then turn, and then change your kame up to 1 branch. So those are the 3 cards that you have got. Which do you want to take? Calm Defense. All right. So that goes there. I'm assuming we'll just put these to the bottom of the pile. And then finally, if you are in green, you could turn twice. Well, you're not. You're in yellow. So that being the case, that's it. That then discards that card. I think we've just done a round. Because we've revealed we had no instant replacements. We've resolved the ability cards. So final step is discard. Discard any of your ability cards in play. So effectively we've got our discard piles going on here. Resolve any end of turn effects. We haven't got anything like that. Check your current hand size against your character's hand limit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got 6 cards. So you need to discard. Actually, how can you have 6 cards? We're just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because you should have started off with 5. Did I? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That shouldn't be. Have I messed up already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we both. Oh yeah, hang on. But we picked one up, didn't we? Because it says to draw a card at the start. Let me just make sure I was right on that. Each player draws a single card from the top of their ability and adds it to their hand. So you're always discarding a card then. So if you have more cards in your hand than your hand limit, you must choose and discard an ability card face down till the number of cards in your hand is equal to your hand limit. Turn is now over and play proceeds to the next turn. So you're going to have to discard one of your cards. I guess this is then acts as a little bit of a ticking clock. Of course, being in a kind of duel like this, you're going to get fatigued. And as we know, if you get to a point where you cannot draw a card, then you're going to take a wound card. And that's your tiredness sort of kicking in, isn't it? So I'm going to get rid of that there. And this just goes into your discard. Which card do you want to get rid of, Roger? Rock Strike, Obedience, Mountain Switch, Diagonal Slash. You got another Rock Strike, Calm Defense. Might be easier here and now to get rid of Rock Strike, I guess. Since you have two of them. But then saying that, you know, they could be the perfect one, couldn't they? Because this is kind of a learning game. It's much of a muchness at this stage, isn't it, really? Rock Strike, yeah. Makes sense. Okay. Right. I guess it's then just rinse and repeat. So we both draw a card from our deck. I'm just going to quickly look what I got. Okay. Let's show you what you have. Oh my goodness. Evasive Step. So this is a defense card. You got an initiative of 9 to 6. And it's an instant replacement card. So this is, well, like I say, one of these cards that basically enhances on top of a card that you've already played. So you would have to have a focus, which mandatorily means you move backwards or diagonally one space. Or you are in the yellow position, to which you are, grants you the same ability, but then you switch your Kame to the neutral position. So it will take you right back to the start. You're not moving on. Alright, so that's your card. Again, I'm going to pick a card. I suppose we really should have... You should have these core cards in your hand as well. So we'll have to remember that. I'm going to put these in mine. Right. Now I'm going to play that one there. Okay. Let's just highlight your core cards again. So discard one card. Move up to in any direction up to 1. Turn twice. Draw up to 2 cards, or search and draw. This is a wooden symboled card, or change your Kame up to 1 branch. And then this is a katana swing. What, I guess we're not going to need to do that one just yet. We're not in combat. So I suppose it's going to be movement-based cards that you're going to be interested in more than anything else. And to be honest, I think it's going to be this core card, isn't it? Student card, yeah. I thought as much. So we'll put that there. That's my card, just here. So we reveal at the same time. Again, this is, you know, it's interesting because while we're learning this new game. So we both have initiative of 0. So it happens at the same time, which means we go to the advantage tracker. And that being the case, the master goes first. So discard 1 card. What we're going to get rid of. I will get rid of... this one. Okay. Put that back there. I can move forward one. So let's go there. I can turn two. I'm not going to do that. I can change my kame up to one branch. So I'm going to go into an aggressive posture. Because that's my core card, it goes back to my hand. Might as well resolve that now while it's still in mind. So, hello M, thank you for dropping on by. We're just playing Senjutsu, Battle for Japan. We're just learning the game. We're getting there. So, Roger, in which direction do you want to go? Remember, you can sidestep. I think what we should do is possibly, let's try and bring our characters together as quickly as possible. So move forward one, then turn the mini left two. After discard, then go to purple. So you're going to move forward one and then turn twice. So 1, 2. Okay. And then you want to go to purple. All right. So you're going to change your kame up to there and grab yourself a focus token. Good stuff. That goes back in your hand. Right. That's effectively done that turn. Let me just quickly check. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 cards, and I got my 2 core cards. So I get to draw up 1. You've got, that's your core. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got 6 and your core. So you need to discard one of your cards. Your core cards don't count to your hand limit, so you have to choose one to discard. Rock Strike, Obedience, Mountain Switch, Diagonal Slash, Calm Defense, and Evasive Step. Which one do you think you are less likely to use? I'm hoping that give it another quick round. We might be able to at least do one attack against each other. Diagonal. Diagonal slash. Alright. So we get rid of that. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. Done. Okay. Move on to the next round. Both of us draw up a card. Have a quick look. Okay. Let's show you what new one you've got. Cleaving Waterfall. It's an attack card with an initiative of 7. Wow. So you get to attack the top and to the left. Ah, but you see, that's we got an actual number there. So let me just double check on this. See, I saw it a second ago. Where was it? Some ability cards have a dividing line containing an initiative speed box. This dividing line denotes the rest of the ability card resolves at a different initiative speed. Ah! Oh, that's cool! Again, this is really cool. So, this card, at initiative 7, you get to do your attack. If my card was initiative 6, I'd get to do my card, and then at initiative 4, you get to do all the rest of your card. Oh, that's really good. Oh, you see? So in fact, that other card had an initiative 1, didn't it? Right, okay. I think we might have... Well, let me just... let's just... Because we're learning. Oh no, you kept hold of the card. All right, we can actually take a... We can actually take a look at that. So this is a cool card, isn't it? So let me just quickly pick what I'm going to do. Okay, there's my card down. Let's quickly look at yours. We've got your student core card, of course. Ah, there you go. It's the katana swing. So it starts at a 4. A 3 would play, and then at 2 you're able to. So you do your attack. So discard one card. You could use a focus to turn. Then you do your attack, and then whoever had the number 3 initiative card would play, and then at 2 you could move and turn. That's very cool. That is very cool. And here we go. Yeah, mountain switch. Plays at a 7. Do all this, but at a 5 you get to do these 2 actions. And here we go. The calm defense was the 1. Ah, you see, it's all coming together now. Okay, what do you want to go for? We kind of want to get together, don't we? Let's aim for that. Sorry, I keep on putting my hand in the way of the board. Let's at least try and get one attack on each other. You need to move, don't you? Yeah. I think that... are we going to assume that you're just going to do your core card? Yeah. Let's do that. Okay. So... we're doing it exactly the same as last turn. Because it's just trying to... a little bit of practicality here. So, I'll get to go first. I'm going to move. And then I'm going to turn. So I'm facing you. As we come around these boulders. I can draw up to 2 cards. Go on, let's do that. I'm going to end up having to discard them. Okay. So that goes back into my hand. Move forward to face me. So, move forward 1. Face. What are you going to do? You draw cards, change your kame, or search for a particular card in the wooden grouping. I guess I would suggest either draw 2 or change your kame, because you at this time you don't really know what you'd be looking for, and we just want to get some action happening. But ultimately, as you go to green, all right. Gone to green. Right. That goes back on in to your deck there. So you should have 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because you're going to have to lose a card. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I need to lose 2 cards. This is typically annoying. Actually, okay. I'm just going to get rid of... that one and that one. There you go. Right. Okay. Which card are you going to get rid of? So you got your katana. It gets difficult when you have good cards, yes. And we are kind of forcing the game at this point. Because we would ordinarily continue to play, and we're kind of wrapping things up, and we've not even got any strikes upon one another yet. So rock strike, obedience, mountain switch, calm defense. I mean, ultimately you want to keep attack-based cards, and you're in green, aren't you? So there you go. That's a defense one. We don't want that. That's another defense one. There's your attack one. Cleaving waterfall. That'd still work. That's probably your best one, isn't it? I'm kind of... So you're going to get rid of the calm one. Calm defense. Yeah. Okay. Done. We'll leave that cleaving waterfall there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. Possibly the waterfall one's the one to go for. All right. Let's... So you get to pick a new card. New card. Yeah. I'm not interested in my one. What have you got? You've got obedience. It's another defense card. So you've already got this in your hand. So I'm going to play that card. What card do you want to play? I guess this is the thing. So you have the option now. Oh, this can be interesting. Do you want to play... You want to do Cleaving Waterfall? Yeah. Okay, so this is all now down to who has the greatest initiative. And it's whether I've played a defense one or an attack one. Of course, I wouldn't know that you've done an attack. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, oh no. So, you have Cleaving Waterfall. Though a defense against a master would have been smarter. Well, no, not in this instance. The young student who has gone all in. Yeah, it's worked out. So your initiative is 7 against my 3. So you get to attack. So again, looking at the diagram, you get to attack straight on. Yes, you go twice. Yes, you do. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So I pick up a wound. Counts as 1 wound. If you have as many wound cards as your character's wound limit, you are defeated. So I pick up a wound. Done. You have the option of moving forward once, or you can turn once. I don't think you're going to do either of those. And then you can pay your focus to basically attack again, which I'm assuming you're going to do. Pay to focus, he says. Of course he does. Done. And so I pick up another wound card. I've got 2 wounds. That is your card spent. See how quick it is? Once you get there, it's quick. And so now it's my turn. This idle strike. I've just taken 2 wounds off you. I now attack you once. So you take a wound. Now I can pay a focus to move back 1. So, but I don't necessarily want to. So if successful... this is interesting. So if I am in red, I can replace a wound with a bleeding wound. Where's the bleeding wound? Now, the bleeding wound, this is slightly different. Let's just... So if an attack effect has a bleeding symbol, draw a bleeding wound instead of a wound. Oh, have I... Oh, maybe I've not got these cards out. Oh, goodness. Okay. I am missing some cards. Typical. So basically, the bleeding wound... So if your character has at least one bleeding wound each turn, you must discard the top card of your deck face down at the start of your turn. So this basically starts to work through your cards, but it means, I don't think it means it's not going to be a wound card here. So you stay in the game a little bit longer, but your deck is going to start going down relatively fast. And because I'm in the wrong... Oh yeah, I see. I'm in the wrong Kame. If I was in yellow, I could get you to discard one of your cards. So you're tiring a little bit. If I was in green, I could get you to hobble. So while active, reduce the initiative speed of your played ability cards by 1. So I could use my focus to move back 1, but I'm not going to do that. If successful... Oh, yes, actually, I think it would be on you, wouldn't it? Yes, of course, because I have successfully attacked, and I could replace your wound card with a bleeding wound card. So that's interesting. That could keep it as a constant. It's draining your deck. Yes. Yes, I wouldn't do it on change mine. It'd be changing yours, wouldn't it? Good call. So, okay, I mean, we've kind of run out of time. It took a little bit just to get things going, but hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of how this plays. Now that we're together, we would start doing this dance, wouldn't we, of the cards we're playing to try and do either defensive cards or continue pressing the attack if you actually have the cards to allow you to do so. Maybe we might have to separate to give ourselves a little bit of breathing room to change our Kame position to get us even more focuses because we've got other abilities we want to play out, and then we come back on in again. We do the dueling dance, yeah? What do you think? I actually think this is... I think you need to look through your deck a little bit, get used to it, and play probably a few rounds. But I think the iconography actually works really well. Once you're used to it, like with any game. Rogi is saying, I like this game, it's very interesting. You could have moved back if you strike first, so I would have had to move before I striked. Yes. Yeah. There's a case of, trying to sort of second guess what your opponent is planning to do, which is a lot of fun. The board is double-sided. So we have this burning village scene. I actually think for streaming wise, the ice seems to be better. Let me show you some of the stuff that's in the board game box because there's quite a bit. I'm just going to place this here. So we have, again, these great little miniatures here. This is a shrine. These are just obstacles that, of course, we can push other characters into. We got some bamboo. The game has all of these as hex counters if you don't want to use the miniatures. Some, oh, let's get them out. Some caltrops, which I believe will cause damage if you stand on them. And then we've got here for the burning village, we've got a burning cart. But this takes up to obviously 2 hexes. This is quite cool. They thought of everything. We have 2 other characters. We have, this is the Ronin. And the miniatures are really nice. And, of course, you do have some nice artwork on the card. And what I really appreciated, going onto the game developers website, you can actually download a painting guide for these characters. That's really good. And then we have the warrior. And then we do have, I think these are these innocent bystanding ladies? No, they're noble women. We have some noble women. Is noble women another term for maybe some geishas? I don't know. Maybe. So the board, the box, we have everything in here. So this is a board that extends the board because you can play up to, I think, is it up to 4 players? We do have in here lots of little standees, but we do have cherry blossom tree, which comes together really nice. Little cardboard pieces, make it a little bit 3D. There is the pieces to put together I hope I say this correctly, a Tory gate. So you can put that on in. So there's some really nice pieces of scenery. That goes in there. As I said, there is a whole deck of AI cards in here to go along with the nice graphic novel that you saw. That is also part of the solo play experience. And then on the Lucky Duck website, you can purchase a whole variety of expansions. And this effectively is additional decks of cards and miniatures and some scenery. So this is the monk versus the sailor. So a monk with a boncho bell, which is the scenery piece, and the sailor. Now I thought this was really interesting because the sailor doesn't say who it is, but this sailor has a sword and I guess it's kind of a flintlock pistol. And let me just get this name correct. I think this sailor is meant to depict the character of John Blackthorne. And if you watched one of the best TV shows from last year, which was Shogun, which is based on the novel by James Clavell, then it is that character, the Englishman over in Japan. So that's a fantastic nod to something that is in sort of popular culture at the moment, because Shogun did do so fantastic at the awards. But this is great. So you've now got a character with a ranged weapon and a totally different style of fighting. And we got the monk as well with a long sort of staff. I did say at the beginning of the show that I thought that this would be appropriate game to take a look at, given that there is a new Japan-themed video game releasing this week. So if you wanted to bring that type of game to your tabletop, then we do have this pack, When Two Worlds Collide. And this includes Yasuke. Hopefully I'm saying that name correct. Yasuke, with the Fallen Lord. And then Waku. So, yes, you can bring in a character that's going to be in a video game. So I thought that was interesting. So there you go. That was a very quick look, because as you can tell, there is so much more depth to this. I'm going to enjoy playing this more, and I think what we might end up doing is bring it back to the channel maybe in a couple of months' time, once I've played it a few more times, to be able to go through very quickly all of the different cards, because there's a lot to consider. But actually, when it said it only took 20 minutes to play, I can well imagine once you know what your cards are and how they actually work, I think the strategy sort of side of it, that's what's going to kick in. And you'll actually find that your combat will be very, very brief. There'll be a lot of staging and positioning, and then suddenly you'll be striking fast and the game will be over. Much like a proper samurai duel, I guess. I can't imagine there would be long, drawn-out affairs. It would be a couple of quick strikes, and that would be it. Either both, one or both would be falling. So yes, good. Knowing the cards will make it go a lot quicker. Yes, I don't know if online there is a resource that basically explains or shows all of the cards, because if you had that knowledge in advance, I think that would help. As you can tell on each of these cards, there's quite a bit for you to look at, which is fantastic. It adds so much depth, but of course through the medium of playing online like this, it's a little bit harder to explain and to go through. If you were sat round the table, you'd have had time as the other person's making their decision. You're looking through your cards and deciding what you want to do. So I don't know whether they have a listing of all the cards somewhere. That I'll see if I can try and find, and that might help going forward. But ultimately, I think this is a great game. I think it brings samurai dueling to the tabletop and does it in a really, really effective way. And I think that once you've played it a few times and then you start customizing your own decks, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Bringing in the additional characters. I think there's 6 different packs, each with 2 different characters in. So that's really cool. And of course, as we saw right at the beginning, there's the solo play rules and the AI cards. So lots and lots of depth to this game. I do recommend it. I think it's a lot of fun. And one that I'm going to enjoy getting used to over the weeks and months. So, there you go. That was Senjutsu Battle for Japan from Lucky Duck Games. Next time, we're going to be having probably another role-playing game in maybe a week or so time. I'm just waiting for some stuff to find its way to the channel. So do keep tabs on social media to get an alert as to what we're going to be doing next. It could be something horror-based, maybe. There again, it could be something to do with the Black Death. I think it might be something like that. Who knows? You'll just have to keep an eye open. But I guess that leaves me just to wrap things up. Have a wonderful weekend and look forward to seeing you next time. But until then, bye for now.